are watching the Grizzlies Digital Network. Now let's go live to the voice of the Grizzlies, Matt Mahoney.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lawrenceville, Georgia, on the campus of Georgia Gwinnett College. We are live for the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championship Final. Hello again, everybody. I'm Matt Mahoney. Tonight's matchup will feature the top seed and host Georgia Gwinnett College Grizzlies against the 3 seed in the Bellevue Bruins, who are looking for some redemption, as the Bruins lost this same A.I.I. championship match a year ago by a score of 2-1. We'll get to all of those storylines from a year ago and get you set for tonight's contest. So we take a look at the spotlight here in this contest as Bellevue rolls into this contest all the way from the Midwest. They're making their 3rd consecutive A.I.I. championship appearance, head coach by Mark Heath Preston in his 4th year of the program. They have battled injuries all year long, but they are ready to go here tonight. On the other side, John Marie Fiore netted a penalty kick for Georgia Gwinnett, pushing them forward to this championship match last night by a 1-0 margin, as GGC making their 7th overall A.I.I. appearance underneath Steve DeCou. And they have marked 4 A.I.I. titles, looking for number 5 here tonight. Glad to have everybody aboard live on our website, ggcathletics.com. You are watching the Grizzly Digital Network. I'm Matt Mahoney, the voice of the Grizzlies, alongside a very talented 100% student-run production, as Jacob, Art, Chris, and Gabby are all bringing you the sights and sounds here from the Grizzly Soccer Complex in what will be a phenomenal showdown between these 2 teams. As they begin to make their trek out here toward midfield for an international walkout, we'll turn things over to Dale Long for tonight's starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters for this evening's match. First up, the Bruins of Bellevue University, determines number 3 seed with an 8-9-2 record. In goal, number 21, Harry Ray. Number 2, Andy Wilkinson. Number 3, Portland Frank. Number 5, Toby Millward. Number 7, Giovanni Acito. Number 9, Iñaki Aldo. Number 20, Federico Romani Manchi. Number 23, Finley Bloodworth. Number 27, Jager Erickson. Number 29, Andy Jensen. And number 30, Alex Cuenca. The Bruins are coached by Mark Heath Preston. And now let's meet the starters for the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies, the tournament's number 1 seed with an 11-3-3 record. In goal, number 1, Matija Gregorovic. Number 5, Ian Araburu. Number 6, John Marie Fiora. Number 10, Elon Adam. Number 14, Sagi Hirsch. Number 16, Malik Thornell. Number 17, Krishna Clark. Number 18, Tony Tiente. Number 20, Carlos De La Rosa. Number 23, Alfredo Rivera. And number 24, Marwan Sain. The Grizzlies are coached by Steve DeCou. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise to remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. time.
Big thanks to Dale Long, our public address announcer here at the Grizzly Soccer Complex, as we get set for A.I.I. Championship Showdown between, what's interesting about this, the 20th ranked Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies and the unranked Bellevue Bruins. As right now, the Grizzlies are the 1 seed with 11-3-3 record. They average a little bit more than 2 goals per contest. Both teams had a loss to finish the regular season, but now back in the win column after semifinal victories yesterday. While Bellevue, the 3 seed with an 8-9-2 record. As Bellevue team's been up and down all season long as they've battled injuries. But Markeith Preston said before the game his team is as healthy as it's been all season long, and they're still on their backup goalkeeper, who's a former goalkeeper of the year in the A.I.I. So no slouch in net for the Bruins, as these two teams reversed roles last year. It was the Grizzlies that were unranked, and it was Bellevue that was the 6th ranked team in the nation, and GGC upset the Bruins on their home soil 2-1. Tonight, the Bruins look for redemption. They already got their first redemption in knocking off Waldorf, who had beat them twice in the regular season. Bellevue knocked off Waldorf yesterday. Now, revenge has been on the mind for this Bellevue team all year long. Can they avenge the loss from last season's championship here tonight? The Bruins will be in all-black uniforms, working left to right. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies in all-white uniforms, working right to left. Mateo Gregorovic in all-yellow will guard the goal on the right side of your screen. Meanwhile, the Bruins and their starting goalkeeper and Harry Ray will guard the goal closest to the scoreboard on the left side of your screen. Referee checks his watch, blows the whistle. We're underway with the A.I.I. Championship here in Gwinnett County. Glad to have everybody aboard as we get set for 90 minutes of soccer action here, as what should be a compelling contest between these two teams that are starting to develop a bitter taste for seeing each other in postseason play. And even after the upset of Georgia Gwinnett last year in that 2018 championship match, Bellevue still received an at-large bid. Georgia Gwinnett took the automatic. Both won their opening rounds and both collided onto Irvine, California at the final site. Now, they did not play each other there, but they saw each other once again at a final round at a postseason venue. And so here we go in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Grizzlies an early corner kick here with Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch plays it short. 2 guys let it slip, and now Elon Adam comes flying in and gets a great look at a goal, puts it on frame and ends up right in the lap of Harry Ray. An early test for him, and GGC was almost moments out of the gate and putting a goal on the board. And so a long ball issued by the Bruins. They come near side. Aaron Brew takes a tough touch. Now out comes Mateo Gregorovic for a save. The Grizzlies go with the double slip on the corner kick. What a play and a great look by Elon Adam. Early momentum for Georgia Gwinnett. Elon Adam gets the start here in this championship game after coming off the bench in yesterday's semifinals. Grizzlies probably had to work a little bit harder than what they expected to versus the 4 seed in Lincoln College. And it was a penalty kick in the 47th minute. That was a difference in the game. And Jean-Marie Fiore converted that penalty kick. And the Grizzlies went on to win 1-0. A couple of attests late in that contest by the Lynx to keep the Grizzlies honest. But nonetheless, it was a 1-0 victory for Georgia Gwinnett. Big boot by Ray, all the way to the other half. Chested down by Rivera. Tiente, tough touch back to Thornell. Thornell's able to turn initially, now puts a boot on it. Ball in around Tiente, and it'll be handled by Bellevue. It'll be a restart for GGC. Thornell down the path. Over top of De La Rosa's head, controlled by Bellevue. Loose ball comes back to Thornell in play. He drops back to Aaron Brewer, now off to Fiore. And Alfredo Rivera. Back toward Fiore. Looking to switch the field, finds Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer, long ball. Up top, looking for Andy Wilkinson, who comes away with the header for Bellevue. Big center back. Had a beautiful ball yesterday. Down the back of the net first for Bellevue. They were slow going in the first half, but 3 goals in the second half, capped off by Toby Millward. Penalty kick and a beautiful free kick. As healthy as Millward is, Bellevue can be one of the most dangerous teams in the nation. They proved that this season by defeating the defending A.I.I national champions in Central Methodist, as well as pulling a draw versus number 5 Hastings. That's how good this Bellevue team is when they are at their healthiest, when they are at their best. Clark. That's one trickled toward the end line on a shot. That'll be a goal kick coming for Bellevue. And Bellevue has just shown signs of inconsistency because of injuries with an 8-9-2 record. Ray with the right foot. Up around midfield. Tony Tiente skies high and will make the header. One's had to play though, so a restart coming for Bellevue. Finley Bloodworth, second team all conference. Ball back toward Zoggy Hirsch and then Fiore with a boot. Heads up down there, Art. Ariendo, or camera up down there in the field, is taking a beating today. He's already had 2 balls running to the tripod. Now he's about took to the dome. How's Art down there? Is he a little rattled? Can we get a thumbs up from Art? There we go. It's just at the bottom of the screen there as Bellevue was able to clear that one out of the back. A little bit of fun for a production crew. Working hard behind the scenes. Long day yesterday with 4 soccer games in a row for our GDN 100% studio and production, but 2 championship games are going to seem easy today, right, folks? But glad to have everybody aboard here. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and who you're listening for. Be sure to use the hashtag AIIMSOC. That's an abbreviation for AI Men's Soccer. Get on Twitter and use the hashtag AIIMSOC to get on the conversation. Let us know who you are. And love to interact with our audience from all over the world. .50 ball in the midfield. Tiente able to win it. Leaves it off for Elon Adam. Looking to play it long to Kirshner Clark, but too steep. Now we get a whistle back from where it started from. So it might have been a foul back outside the 18 on Bellevue. So it'll be a restart for GGC all the way back on the right side of the pitch. Teal Gorovich getting some pampering from me and Aaron Baru. It's going to be one of the most frustrating things for a goalkeeper. My shoe is untied and I can't do it because she's got all those gloves on. And so a good teammate is Aaron Baru. Says, I got you, buddy. I'll tighten him up. Looks like it was a good shoestring job by Aaron Baru because the boot stayed on Gilgorovich on that restart. Ball popped up around the attacking third. Alfredo Rivera needing some help. Will go back toward Gilgorovich. Nice job using his head in number 23. Gilgorovich swings it back toward him. As we get into the X's and O's of this contest, from a strategic standpoint, this Bellevue team creates some problems for Georgia Gwinnett. They've got some size, they've got some physicality, and they win a lot of 50-50 balls and a lot of headers. That's normally the team that gives GGC its most fits. And if you'll join me in going down memory lane, you got a 3-1 loss to St. Thomas, 4-0 loss to Mobile, and even dating back earlier in the season, a 1-1 draw to Bryant. Those are the types of teams, from a mold standpoint, that Bellevue fits underneath. Now, Bellevue, far more aggressive style of play than those 3 previous teams I mentioned. And so they're not afraid to play with anybody in the nation. They have the confidence to do that. You've seen them hold any kind of line. They're kind of open and willing to play freely with the Grizzlies. John Reef, Krishna Clark. And now Adam swings 1-2, De La Rosa on the far side. De La Rosa chased it down on the elbow. Cuts back to his left. Trying to find a window. Still streaking across the top of the 18. They just way too much momentum there. That one blasted into the darkness. Beyond the goal. So Harry Ray, the junior goalkeeper to Darlington, England, in for A.J. Jarvis. Jarvis nursing an injury, and Ray, a lot of confidence for this Bellevue team to put him in goal. Pitched the shutout yesterday. Thornell with a header. And again, mentioning those 50-50 balls, keep an eye on that as you track progress. Certainly John Marie Fiora is an excellent winner in the air. And now we're going to get a yellow card against Andy Wilkinson. Challenged in against Zinn. And so the Grizzlies not only get a free kick out of it, but the Bruins receive a yellow card to one of their center backs. It changes the dynamic of this game just a little bit here, as Wilkinson may not be able to be as aggressive as he normally is with an early booking in the first 10 minutes. So Alfredo Rivera is going to stand over top of it. Oh, and one of my guilty pleasures in this game, the magic spray. I love it. Official came prepared today. So he used that magic spray to create a white line on the turf. Rivera can't move the ball, and Bellevue can't get in front of that line. It's the simple things in life. Rivera loops this one to the back door. And we got Fiora with the ball inside the 6, rattling around. Flag up far side. It's an offside position. But to keep an eye on some of the names we call on these 50-50 balls or these air balls. If you hear a name like John Marie Fiora, he has the ability to win just about any head ball. But if you see shorter guys, and this is not a knock on either one of them, but guys like Elon Adam, guys like Malik Thornell and Alfredo Rivera, strong on the ball, no doubt, but just the height advantage that Bellevue has, it's going to be difficult for some of those secondary players for GGC who aren't the prime candidates to win those aerial balls. If GGC's challenging and winning some of those and controlling those aerial balls, the Grizzlies could find some success. And certainly 50-50 balls, keep an eye on how those go. Rivera, ball at his feet, which is the field to Aaron Buru. Back to Fiora. Bellevue holding a little bit of a line here, Fiora. Back to Rivera. Now all the way to the near side and tracking that ball is Wilkinson. Ray wants to start quickly, but looks to bypass. Ray. Ball around midfield. Zion gets a boot on it. Moving around the All-American of Toby Millward. Ball goes back to Ray. This one's booted up top. We got a frantic pace here over the first 10 minutes. This bodes well for GGC. They like getting out in space and using athletic ability and using their skills and talents possessing the ball, moving quickly and athletically. Got a couple of shots already and a corner kick. Almost got a goal, but a big save by Ray in the first minute. Ball in the box, cleared out by Zinn. Punched right back in by Bellevue, but Rivera's there, heads it out of danger. Millward able to get a boot on it now. A dangerous tackle from a tough angle. As Tony Tiente wins a header. And a collision now as the Bruins get the brunt end of that. Official blows his whistle quite quickly, or does he? He put it in his mouth, took it back out. He's still checking on a player at midfield. Bruins with a great opportunity here They've got a hurt teammate in midfield. The referee is feeling anxious to blow this whistle to run it dead, and now the Bruins are looking for help too as well. They want to check on their teammate. Frantic pace here is now Elon Adam comes away with it, and the Bruin that was down now stands up. Confusion all around here as taking the brunt end of that header was Finley Bloodworth. They cannot afford to have him down. Second team all-conference selection at Kings Lynn, England, part of that pipeline for Coach Markeith Preston. So now, Finley getting an explanation from the official after that collision with TNT. And the Finley's official saying you are okay. Near side, Sagi Hurst wins that. We'll get a restart for GGC. Again, going back to 2018, it was GGC who was receiving votes in that final coaches poll of the regular season. Bellevue was the 6th ranked team in the nation, and they were unbeaten, 17-0-2. And the Bruins thought they were in good shape, but Travis Hurd goal in the 30th minute put Bellevue on top 1-0, and the Bruins were feeling good about themselves. But then, right before halftime, a hustle play by Omar Thali. Here's a hustle play for Tony Tiente. Gets tied up by the center backs. Good sequence there for GGC. There's Zinn, about 30 yards out. Ray gambled a little bit. Now Sagi Hurst clears one into the box, and it's knocked out of danger by the Bruins. And so the turning point of the game last year was a hustle play by Omar Thali. He rattled it to the near post. It kind of rattled around where Michael Weber hangs out. It actually goes off of a Bruin defender and in its own goal that tied the game at 1. And then one of the most beautiful goals of the entire season for GGC. Michael Weber got a nifty assist to Miles Barber, who bent a beautiful shot up and around the goalkeeper in the 56th minute. And the Grizzlies would hold strong over the final 30 minutes and win 2-1, clinching their 4th A.I.I. championship and an automatic berth to the opening round. The Grizzlies carried that momentum all the way through the opening round. They had to go down to Lakeland, Florida, to Southeastern, beat the Fire, and punch their ticket to the final site in Irvine, California. Sagi Hurst with the ball inside the 6, but accidentally strikes out a little bit too steep toward Ray. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Bellevue, a very emotional back and forth contest as things were chippy at times, especially in the second half. Took that loss and turned it into a positive. Their opening round site, they hosted Marymount out of California, destroyed them 3-0. Maybe taking some of their frustration out on the kids from Cali. And then Bellevue punched their ticket with that win over to Irvine, California at the final site. But they fell short to Madonna, 1-0 in overtime. Tiente up to Zinn. Zinn with a right-footed strike, a lot of contact there. He gets all balls. Zinn goes down. A little bit of a comment below there for Bloodworth after the play, reminding Zinn of his athletic ability. And now Bloodworth creating a dialogue with the official. I understand a conversation or even a question or two about an incident, especially when it involves something like an aerial ball and a head shot, you know what I mean, and heads colliding, whatever. But now Bloodworth takes down Zinn in the box, stands over top of Zinn, gives him a comment about it, and then pleads his case to the official as if he's the innocent one. It's a good play. It's a great play. I don't know if it's worth the recognition that Bloodworth gave it. Clark with a challenge. Grizzlies create a turnover. Here comes a counterattack. Zinn working downhill. Another great slide tackle on Zinn. And the Bruins come out of the back. Woodward through the legs of the official. En route. Here's Ronchi. And now it's Elon Adam with a slide tackle. And now Malik Thornell gets his feet tied up with Ronchi. That'll be a free kick for Bellevue. Not a bad place to foul if you're Malik Thornell. And again, I think it was more accidental than anything. This ball rests about 35 yards from the target. Toby Millward, the All-American, will stand over top of it. Toby playing a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and we saw that yesterday. Because of his injuries and his lack of minutes, he received the A.I.I. second team all-conference selection. Ball into the box, goes to the near post, punched out by Gilgorovich. That ball dangerously floated inside the 6 for GGC. So the Grizzlies trying to work their way out of the back. But Toby Millward in the class act, after being an A.I.I. All-American the previous year, was voted to the second team all-conference. Great save by Mateo Gilgorovich, pushing that ball over the bar. That one gets pushed inside the 6. Corner kick coming for Bellevue. I really want to get this Toby Millward story out. But these young men keep producing phenomenal plays. Now get the referee off the play, stopping play and ushering a Bellevue cameraman over to the corner flag. And so these two teams a little chippy last year in the championship, and the referee is just trying to calm everyone down. The play is stopped, and so is the clock. Meanwhile, a photographer is still drifting back behind the net, and the officials don't like that. We are literally stopping play right now for a photographer wearing a Bellevue hoodie. And the official has gone all the way over to the administrative tent on the far sideline. And again, the players act like the corner kick's coming in a matter of seconds. Folks, we're not going anywhere right now. The center ref is all the way over to the bench on the far sideline, waiting for this photographer to get out of the way, is a lack of a better way to put it. There he is at the top of your screen right there on the left side, just now rounding the corner flag. And he gets a token round of applause from the hometown Grizzlies. All right. I guess now we're ready. Photographers are where they should be. Players are on the pitch. And again, the referee inside the 18 trying to calm everyone down. Waiting for a whistle is Toby Millward. Right-footed strike toward the 6. Gilgorovich stuck in no man's land. A header saved by Gilgorovich. Rattles off the crossbar. Here's a right-footed strike. It smokes a Grizzly in the face. It might have been Aaron Buru. He's hurt. More chaos here as the Bruins want a handball. And the referee is doing as good a job as he possibly can to control this game. And Aaron Buru took a shot from 15 yards away right to the face. He saved the goal, but it might have cost him. And again, Gilgorovich came out, got stuck in no man's land, retreated back toward the end line, poked it off the crossbar. And then Aaron Buru saves the day with his face. Yeah, let's see it, Chris. So here's the corner kick from Millward after a slight delay. You see Gilgorovich stuck in no man's land. There's a header that he does get his paws on. As this ball comes back out, there's Aaron Buru. Let that run for another 2 seconds, Chris. Aaron Buru up on his own power, walking away. That's a live shot there with Adam Lucassian. GGC trainer helping Aaron Buru off. And folks, hold on to your shoes here if we get this replay in time. Back to the beginning here. So this ball's going to pinball around as it's poked away. Aaron Buru sitting on his backside, sits up and gets absolutely drilled on the nose. And So Aaron Buru walks off in his own power. We're back live now. The Bruins restarting. Aaron Buru checks into midfield and sprints onto the field. I don't know there's too many human beings on this planet that sprint back onto the field after getting drilled by a shot like that. Aaron Buru is one of them. We appreciate him. Now there's 2 soccer balls on the pitch. Absolute chaos here in the first 19 minutes of this game. We've had angry photographers, angry officials, angry shots, angry fans. Now the fans have been light. They're supporting their teams. They've been good. Everybody's behaving themselves, but just a chaotic first 19 minutes for a championship game. All around midfield, Aaron Buru again, not hesitant. Skies at the ceiling to try to win that ball. Near side, Erickson goes all the way back to raise feet. Ball chipped in the midfield. Aldo tries to control it. It's a nice little touch by a spectator. Oh, that's Andy White. Not your typical spectator. It's an All-American. Former GGC alum. Former GGC men's soccer player, but a GGC alum. Once a Grizzly, always a Grizzly. And this ball pinballing around the 6. Gilgorovich again, just a hair anxious, wants to come out and get that ball. Did the old 2 steps forward, 1 step back, realizing he had help in front of him. So Gilgorovich, no need to prove himself. He was the A.I.I goalkeeper of the year announced on Thursday night, the first team all-conference selection his junior season. Thornell far side. Tries to track it down, and he does, surrounded by black shirts. Now he's tripped up, and the Bruins create a counterattack. 2-man game for the Grizzlies. Beat, Millward working downhill. Thornell recovers. Pushes the pressure far side. This is a cross back outside the 18. And Tiente will secure it. Tiente literally drugged down there, but play continues. Tiente keeps his momentum going forward. Wilkinson with the yellow. Plays it far side. We got quite the balance of powers here. Gilgorovich will come out. That's a smart move by him. As we get the hometown Grizzlies in their respective bleachers on the right-hand side, cheering on and supporting the Grizzlies. And then Bellevue women's soccer, who was eliminated from the A.I.I championship yesterday, has hung around and have supported their fellow student athletes on the men's side here. So this certainly has a championship environment feel to it. Sometimes when these neutral sites for the tournaments gets handed out, it can be kind of lopsided, especially when these teams come from so far away like Bellevue, Nebraska. But good representation, good sportsmanship by everyone involved outside of the pitch. Long tossed into the box, headed one by Bellevue, back in toward the 6. Aldaldo gets an all paw on it, and Gilgorovich rises to the occasion and makes his save. Bellevue again wanting a penalty kick, or complaining about a no call. And so Gilgorovich is going to vouch for the down Bruin to say he did draw contact and maybe get the wind knocked out of him a little bit. And Aldo denying medical treatment, so that means he's going to stay on the pitch, but in a timely manner will need to recover. He'll take advantage of the opportunity to have a conversation with the official. Aldo, first team all-conference selection. He's one of the leading point getters on this team. He draws a lot of attention because of his stats and his minutes this season, but don't get it twisted. Toby Millward, the All-American, is the straw that stirs the drink. Aldo's a benefactor of having both of those guys on the pitch. Mostly when they are both on the pitch, they're one of the best teams in the country. Long ball up top, headed one by Bloodworth. Knocked down by Aldo. And now Millward tosses up top. Goal side is Rivera. Rivera back to Gilgorovich. The right foot just gives a haircut to Aldo. Wasn't quite ready for that strike. Restart for the Bruins after an hand touch. Erickson in toward Aldo. Rivera is there. Now comes out to Zinn. Zinn with a fancy flick. Now clearance to the midfield. Tiente with a strike and a counterattack. Out to Kirshner Clark, the speedster from Jamaica. Working his man one-on-one, cuts back to the inside, got a piece of it, gets it back. Clark trying to size it up, right foot off the defender, and now it's cleared out by the Bruins. Good look for Kirshner Clark. And now Grizzlies trying to mount an attack. Sagi Hirsch inside to Zinn. Zinn, he lets the right foot go there, and a little hesitant for Ray. That ball had some knuckling action on it, but misses wide of the mark. Normally for a goalkeeper to read and react, they're going to get a step in a positive direction, whether it's forward, left, or right. Ray was caught flat-footed and basically had to jump on from his heels. But luckily, Zane just put too much action on it. This match about 25 minutes old, and it is wide open, high octane, clicking on all cylinders between the Grizzlies and the Bruins. We've got 3 shots for both teams, 2 on frame for the Bruins, 1 on frame for the Grizzlies. Handful of fouls in total. We've got 1 yellow card. It's Andy Wilkinson in the 15th minute. We've got 1 corner kick for either team, 2 as well. Quick restart for Bloodworth. Left foot straight toward Rivera. Looking for Adam. Adam, 1 touch over to Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer not showing any signs of repercussions or symptoms off that shot. Got some debris on the turf here. I believe it came off the shoe or the shin guard of Elon Adam. Tante's clipped down from the heels, and Elon Adam checks out in the equipment category. However, it was a Bruin that had something fall out. Steve DeCoux not happy about something up off the bench. Adam near side, Alfredo Rivera. It was actually Andy Jensen that was missing a shin guard. Near side, Rivera quickly gets to it now. Cross flip to Sagi Hirsch. Sagi Hirsch down the line. Big right foot by Erickson. Ball in the midfield. Clark attests for it, but it's won by Frank. Portland Frank, sophomore out of Nebraska. Much like Steve DeCoux, Markeith Preston not afraid to recruit in international territories. 13 Bruins come from foreign countries. 6 of them to be exact. Spain, England, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, and Argentina. While Coach DeCoux, 12 international players representing 10 different countries. Turnover for the Bruins. They're looking to go right down the mouth of their belly of the beast. Fiore gets a boot on it, comes near side. Marwan Zinn felt like he was tackled in a steep angle. Cornell in the midfield, trying to find De La Rosa. Tiente comes flying in. Tiente, awarded as the A.I.I. Player of the Year Thursday night at the banquet. Certainly is a marked man, one of the most talented players on the pitch. A little 1-2 game there as Tiente turns around in the midfield. Plays Sagi Hirsch near side. Sagi Hirsch dribbles around one guy, comes to De La Rosa near side. De La Rosa looking down the left side. Set up by a defender in Bloodworth. Gets back to his right. In at the elbow. Dumps it off. Can't fight in. Out to Rivera. Back into Adam. Fiore over top of the G-Claw. Long first touch, but gives it wide to Thornell. Thornell turns, looks. Tries to find Tiente. Here we get a late tackle with some studs up, and now we're going to need some real counseling. I think that's what Coach DeCoux's been upset at a couple of times. Some of these tackles coming in from Bellevue, and finally we'll get a yellow card. That's 2 yellow cards on the Bruins now in the first half so far. And Coach DeCoux's protecting his players, especially a young man like Tony Tiente that's so valuable to this team. We'll get confirmation on that yellow card here momentarily. Bruins aren't doing me any favors. Purple numbers on black shirts. I'm trying my best, folks. Contrasting colors. My favorite thing in the world. Elon Adam. Right foot. in toward the 6. Zinn gets a flick on it and hits the bar. And now we get De La Rosa with a strike as play sort of subsided for a moment. As Zinn, not the tallest of characters amongst those trees for the Bruins, but got just enough on it to redirect, and it smokes the bar. That's the best look that the Grizzlies have had tonight after that corner kick in the first seconds. So now the Andes have a pair of yellow cards. Jensen, first it was Wilkins, then it was Jensen. So Andy Jensen booked on that most recent yellow card. Kante wins a strong header there. And there's a good indication. The physicality of the Grizzlies are going to rise to the occasion here. Not normally classified or have the scouting report out as a physical Grizzly team, but so far they have matched the physicality of the Bruins in this match. Grizzlies opening up possession here. Kante into De La Rosa. De La Rosa turns it over. However, the Bruins can't handle it, and Clark will get it to Adam. Back out to Rivera. Hirsch into Rivera. Challenged by Aldo. Aaron Brewer pushes it forward. Trying to get on top of the carpet to Clark. Can't do so. Now in the middle for Adam. Smart strike out here to Saga Hirsch. He's got time and space. Hirsch down the line. Finds De La Rosa onside in business. Looking across. There he does. Looking toward Thornell. He can't get there. Clark is there. Clark's trying to size up a shot. They go to the end line. Now circled back around. Either tripped or stumbled. We'll go with stumbled as play continues. Bruins working out of the back. Nifty footwork there by Jensen. Keeping his dribble alive. Chased around by, I believe, Elon Adam. That ball go out of play. Adam got a boot on it. And a restart for the Bruins on the far sideline. We played 30 minutes. Frantic pace here for the A.I.I championship. The Grizzlies won this contest 2-1 as the underdog. Now the Bruins are trying to do the same. Trying to avenge that loss from a year ago, as they've been inconsistent with a 3 seed and an 8-9-2 record. But Markeith Preston feels like when his team is healthy, they are one of the best teams in the nation, and I am not going to argue with him on that. The redemption tour started yesterday for this Bruin team, not only getting healthy, but having been beaten by Waldorf twice in the regular season. They got their rematch yesterday in the semifinals and took care of the Warriors 3-0. And now the redemption tour continues against Georgia Gwinnett here tonight in the championship. Substitution for the Bruins. The injured Bruin will go out, and Austin Brinkley, the sophomore out of Melbourne, Florida, will check in. There's a ball into the box. Gogorovich will come out. Doesn't get a paw on it. Now we get a flag up as Gogorovich was fouled on the play. Gogorovich assessing his options. Will push everybody up. Again, as this first half has progressed, Bellevue has pushed their high line further and further and further and continues to pressure. Sagi Hirsch wins that header. Zinn comes away with it. Zinn tries to split 2 defenders, keeps the ball. Now he's taken down, and we get a whistle on the second effort. Alfredo Rivera, he's going to tee this one up. Whew. I'm going to say right at 40 yards. And he hit a bomb from earlier this year on the run of play from about this far out. I don't think this is his MO. Loses this one to the back door. Fiore with a header. It's challenged and out of play, and the referee will reward GGC with a corner kick. That ball clearly wide of the mark for Fiore to put that on frame, but maybe that might be part of the tactic. The Grizzlies Huddle up right at the penalty spot. Now there's a lot of pushing and shoving to try to get the assignments right. The official will step in. Sagi Hirsch, in-swinger, back door. A couple of Grizzlies there, including Tiente. Everybody appeals for it, but it'll be go in favor of the Bruins. Tiente was in the neighborhood, got a head on it, just not enough of it. And now we get a substitution for the Bruins. Jogging out is Igor Eriksson, sprinting into the match. It'll be Morgan Penn. Another opportunity here for the Grizzlies. That one smashed, but wide of the mark. Back-to-back goal kick coming for Ray. And so Ray dangerously doesn't want to make the same mistake. Kirshner Clark got a gift that just missed the pole. And now Ray will make the adjustment, get underneath it a little bit. A missed jump by both participating members there. Rivera pokes it around midfield. Zinn trying to create some havoc. He does as Elon Adam pokes it far side, looking for Clark. Goes off the top of a Bruin defender. It'll be a restart for GGC. Into Adam. Adam. Pressured by Brinkley. And now Aaron Brewer. Adam again. Rivera. Hirsch and Rivera again. Tips this one in toward Clark. Clark, ball at his feet. Dumps it off to Tiente. Tries to get it back to Clark. Clark luckily gets a gift. Now a give and go. Clark into the box. Too steep of a pass and a flick from Zinn. Well, if that would have been money. Smooth sequence for Georgia Gwinnett. Right down the teeth of that defense for the Bruins. They knife right through it. Get a good look, but Ray made a nice play coming off his line. Maybe a high kick there for the Grizzlies, but play continues. Adam juggling past his man, trying to assess some options. Circle back toward the midfield. On top of the carpet, has it taken away by Penn. However, Elon Adam with an apologetic move. And now a dangerous decision here for the Grizzlies is Brinkley holding that really high pressure line for the Bruins. Thornell got some heat from behind, and you know it with Brinkley. Elon Adam near side for Hirsch. Hirsch threads the needle. De La Rosa, but can't get it. Great hustle play by Sagi Hirsch and gets it back to De La Rosa. As Bloodworth knocks that one out of play. And a restart for Sagi Hirsch. It's interesting. Elon Adam is certainly going to have his impact in this first half. Zinn weaving his way through traffic. Goes near post. Nobody's there. Loose ball. Tiente, right foot. Another save by Ray. Rebound near post. Knocked away by the Bruins defense. Grizzlies turning the tide on this first half with an unbelievable opportunity. That's now back-to-back chances in minutes for Georgia Gwinnett. But the Bruin defense stands tall. Zinn created a nifty opportunity on the near side. Tiente had a great look at it, but Ray made a great save. Third corner kick of the night coming for the Grizzlies. Wide open is Malik Thornell at the elbow. He'll cross things into the box. De La Rosa got the umbrella on the backside. He'll knock that one off a Bruin member, and now we're going to flag up in an offside position. And so GGC has created some healthy opportunities here over the last couple of minutes. I was going to say before that bad dash of events, that with the high pressure line by the Bruins, with Aldo and Brinkley up top, which certainly can create havoc, what that's done is it's created a gap at the very top, or I guess if you're looking at the 4-3-3 from a goalie's perspective, it's created a gap at the bottom of the midfield, lack of a better term. And where Elon Adam is going to have lots of opportunities on turnovers to find the ball, have time and space, turn and look and assess his options. Because with the line being so high and so aggressive on the Grizzlies' back four, there's simply not enough personnel to account for Elon Adam in the midfield. And so Adam, who's got some great touches here in the last 10 minutes or so, and it's resulted in 2 phenomenal chances for GGC. There's Adam again, trying to find that empty space. As now Penn chips it forward. Fior pressured, as is Rivera. Back to Gilgorovich. Marvin Ramirez holding that line at the 18 with Brinkley there. Gilgorovich decides to go over top of everyone. Will come off the near sideline. Kept in by Sagi Hirsch. And a tough touch by Sagi Hirsch will now push up the Bruins. And a restart coming for Penn. Go along with the 13 international players. Marquis Preston also brought in 14 players from the native state of Nebraska, including Marvin Ramirez, who just checked in. Here's a long heave into the box. Intended for Brinkley, ends up in the feet of Fiore. Not sure if Gilgorovich can get to that or not. Sagi Hirsch will clear things out. Zinn draws contact, tries to play through it, but stumbles down. Ball goes out of play. And now we're going to get no foul against Zinn, but we're going to get a throw in for the Bruins. The play will continue. Zinn, can't believe he tried to play through that contact. Again, Toby Millward was going for the ball, just didn't get it. And so Zinn tried to play through it, but just stumbled out of bounds. He was clearly the last one to touch it, so the referee just let play continue. And now somehow this is going to be a free kick on the handball by Zinn as he fell to the ground. Millward toward the back post. Brinkley in the neighborhood can't get to it. And now John Ray Fiore in a foot fight to far side, wins it, and clears it out of danger. Big boot out of the back. As the Grizzlies are going to try to move things out of danger. And a great header by a fan at the top of the stands. That's a Bellevue member there. Gets a solid round of applause. That's pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A header by a fan. And he put it in the right direction, too. So that big boot by the Grizzlies gets them out of the back, trying to reshape this momentum of the game. Zinn, again, lets that strike go. It's knocked down by Wilkinson. Penn boots it out of the back, coming near side. Brinkley will try to save it. And he will not. Throw in for the Grizzlies. Now, quick restart. Goes out to Fiore. 5.5 minutes remaining in this first half. I want to wish congratulations to Mike Giuliano and GGC Women's Soccer after a big moment for them, picking up the 2-0 victory versus Viterbo. Celebratory moment, went and got some dinner. Now the women's soccer team starting to make their way back out here to the Grizzlies Soccer Complex to support their fellow student athletes. Here's a ball to the back door. Malik Thornell with an opportunity, but a sliding effort, unable to get to it. Goal kick coming for the Bruins. So the home bleachers on the right side starting to fill up, and the excess fans toe the track outside of the turf. Meanwhile, the most impressive thing any fans have done tonight is that young man sitting at the top of the bleachers for Bellevue. Ray, big ball toward that back line. And a one by Tiente. Worth noting here, missed a sub at some point for Steve DeCou. Checking in is Edward Raji. So him and Kirshner Clark, the speed demons, sit at the top of the formation. Meanwhile, Alfredo Rivera took a spill off the ball. I think he tripped over the turf or himself or something. And So now the Grizzlies trying to get on the same page. Penn wants a restart, but his teammate is about 40 yards behind him. Wanted to toss it in. So we got to decide which ball we want to play with. Penn will lose his as Bloodworth will use his. Zinn goes down delicately again, but he'll be pick up the whistle there. Tiente wanting to restart quickly. Fiore sends it out to Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch with a long first touch and an excellent strike by Penn. Sagi Hirsch wearing the captain's band, senior season. One of Israel. Does not want his season to end here tonight. Now, we'll go through the same process we did yesterday. GGC, the 20th ranked team in the nation, and they are number 15 in the MRPI. Steve DeCoux said beforehand to me that they don't feel the need to win this in order to go to the national tournament. They feel confident with the expanded field that a loss here for GGC, they would still get an at-large bid to go to the opening round. Now, I don't think there's a coach that's going to use that in his pregame pep talk, nor do the Grizzlies want to lose this contest. I'm not trying to paint that picture, and I'm not trying to say the Grizzlies are being passive-aggressive in this contest. No. They want to win this title for the 5th time. They want to defend the crown here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. They want to host that opening round next week, and the way to get there is by winning this championship. Ball into the box, we get a flop, as Rivera will boot that out of the 6. No referee's going to rule that a penalty. And so GGC has a lot to play here for tonight, not just the hardware. It's just a through ball to Clark. Clark's going to turn on the Jets. Ray's got to play with his feet outside the box and collides with his teammate in the process. Ray had to do that or else Clark would have finished on him, that's for sure, in a one-on-one. And so the Grizzlies, a lot to play for here. Because if you win here tonight, clinch that A.I.I championship, pick up your 12th win, you get a really strong resume and a really strong case to host that opening round and be a 1 seed next week, which is huge. Bellevue, on the other hand, floating with 500. 8 wins, 9 losses, and 2 ties. Their MRPI is in the 50s. Don't think they're going to catch an at-large bid being that low. And so they are playing for the season. The Bruins, if they lose here, their season comes to a close. And so they know that. The Grizzlies know that. Everyone knows that. And so certainly playing with their season on the line with the Bruins. Playing desperately, looking for revenge. The Grizzlies are emotionally connected with them here. This is a quality contest. Very open, high intensity, high pressure. Back and forth we go. Brinkley giving a chase. Rivera in the neighborhood. Rivera will keep it in play. Sagi Hirsch had it skip off his head. Now a 50-50 ball is going to be kept in play and roll all the way on the end line for a GGC goal kick. Goalkeeper of the year, Mateo Gilgorovich. Right-footed strike. Won by Zinn. Sagi Hirsch right back to Zinn, who was on his backside. Ball won by the Bruins as Rivera turns and retreats. Back to the feet of Gilgorovich, switches the field to Aaron Brewer. I was worried about Ian when he took that shot to the face from about 15 yards out. That was not a place you can plan for.
10, 9,
and so the countdown on here in the first half.
6,
We've got no goals and no score. A couple of cards and one fierce competition for the A.I.I championship. These two teams going toe-to-toe once again. They had a great game last year in the A.I.I championship of 2018. We got another one here in 2019. We'll step aside here with a halftime break. We'll come back with first half stats and highlights here in about 12 minutes or so. Check back in here in a little bit on the Grizzly Digital Network.
A reminder, restroom facilities are located both here at the field and the far side of the walking path in the tickets building. Be sure to pick up refreshments at the concession stand. And be sure to log on to AISports.com for statistics and our championship central page. Follow the A.I.I on Twitter and Facebook to stay connected during this championship season.
and ghost. He is doing quickly though.
Some of them little girls are chopping them.
What was? I'm not. Rick, you see man them where they discard and put down for whatever reason. You see it's so-called man them where goody man them or well behaving ones and then look and then see them man them. Where they land. You see when they land, they can't believe they see a man that because nobody they expect say yo you could have achieved. I see that 15 times in my life. know, Chris.
Coming up for you. I just realized I was like,
tell him, say, yo, where am I the Chris? I need me like that.
women's game.
But he was before, like that before the coup, when he was on another team.
Let's have a know which one you have to know. Yeah, of course. You have to see all of them. You can't just come all of people, guys. You find out, say, are you, and I like, say, when him in a scene of alright, you know why so much problem then I heard? Don't tell you why so much problem. As soon as a man say I'm gonna do a couple. See? He's not trying to find out the reason why not.
They tried with him. They tried with him.
You understand them not find out the reason why he's not doing it, you know? Then just discard him, put him down. Why for something legitimate why he must be here right now? You understand? It's just like our man in Maldives are going to this guy right now. And people bashing him and pushing him. And genuinely man have a medical condition. People ask them they know try to find out the root I cause to the problem. Of course. Yes, sir. Dark every crapper get clean wet. Bond. Can't get the class over here on my life. What the government send out the captain. Like the 3 color, 4 color class, then the bank grabber them. They must go buy that then go say, they beat up that they then go dance all of them and then no, if you dance, if you move down to your bench, don't tear up. Right now like the one they use a little interior, some leather and stitch them in. Then you move to track it out there. Yeah, man, have to support. So you see what I see them on their body. You know, every move, certainly all that shot that they see there. And you see them bust out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, the host side of the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championships. As we take a look at our first half highlights here, as Georgia Gwinnett, the top seeded versus the 3-seeded Bellevue Bruins. Literally seconds into this contest, the Grizzlies go with a double slip, and Elon Adam gets a great look right into the belly of the goalkeeper and Harry Ray. This game would be frantic pace over the first 45 minutes. Back and forth they go. Shot on goal. Gilgorovich picks up a save. He had two of them in the first half. Set piece. This is the lone corner kick of the first half for the Bruins. Toby Millward puts one right on the money inside the 6. Gilgorovich, there's a second save. Loose ball comes back out, and Ian Aramburu takes the brunt end of this to the face. He recovers okay and has played the rest of the contest with no side effects. And then later on in the first half, beautiful ball into the box. Marwan Zinn scrapes the top of his head off the crossbar, and the Grizzlies get nothing out of that. Then a mental mistake here by the Bellevue defense as Kirshner Clark capitalizes, but it just slips outside the post. And so this first half has been a microcosm of almost chances for both these teams, and this one probably the best chance for either team. In the 35th minute, Zinn has been very active, gets across, Ray gets a hand on it. Tony Tiente, player of the year, best look of the night for either team, couldn't finish on either opportunity, and here we are after 45 minutes of play, locked in at 0-0. Grizzlies outshot the Bruins 11-3 in the first half. A handful of fouls for both these teams. 2 yellow cards have been issued too as well. One for Andy Wilkinson and the other for Andy Jensen, both at the hands of the Bellevue Bruins. And we get set for second half action here. We'll flip-flop sides. Matija Gilgorovich will guard the goal, closest to the scoreboard wearing the all yellow. In front of him will be Hirsch, Rivera, Fiora, Aramburu, and Thornell. In the midfield, Tiente, Adam, and Zinn, and then up top for the Grizzlies will be Edward Raji and Kirshner Clark. For Markeith Preston, it'll be the Bruins in all black uniforms going right to left. His goalkeeper remains in the game, and Harry Ray. And the Darlington, England, he'll wear the green. In front of him will be the same exact starting lineup for the Bruins, and Wilkinson, Frank, Millward, Gansito, Aldaldo, Ranchi, Bloodworth, Erickson, Jensen, and Cuenca. And so these two teams in a rematch of last year's A.I. Championship, in which saw the Grizzlies as the team outside of the top 25, upsetting the 6th-ranked Bellevue Bruins by a score of 2-1. And now the Bruins are looking for revenge here tonight, being outside of the top 25, looking to upset the Grizzlies, who are inside that national poll. And at this time, we're joined now, and it is our pleasure to welcome aboard the commissioner of the A.I.I., Mr. Ted Breinthal. Ted, how are you doing this fine evening?
Great, thank you so much. Great to be with you.
We are starting to get used to this conversation, you and I, here in Lawrenceville, Georgia, as Georgia Gwinnett has been the benefactor of a couple of these A.I. championships on both the men's and the women's side. If you don't mind, kind of explain to our audience the process that goes on months and months and months before these two teams do battle out here on the soccer pitch, and what determines where we go for these tournaments.
Yeah, we set out bids for all of our conference championship events. We send the bids out in April, and we have an executive committee of 6 athletic directors led by Darren Wilson, who's the president of our executive committee. And we go through a process of conference calls where we take a look at all the bids in all the sports, and then our executive committee makes a decision usually, usually right around the beginning of June. June,
gotcha.
Early to mid-June is usually when we have all of our host sites finalized for the coming year. And this has been a great place, we keep coming back here. Why? Great people, great facilities, great weather. You've got it all down here, and it's a great place to host a conference tournament.
Atlanta's certainly been a hub that the NAI National Office has recognized in having our teams be successful enough to host opening round bids, and the A.I. tournament precludes that, and so we get the benefit of seeing teams from all over the country, and that's some of the challenges, but it's also something of the rewards that come with being an independent at the NAI level. We get teams from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and Bellevue, Nebraska, and the Washington, D.C. area.
Right.
And the geography lesson could go on and on and on over the last 7 years of teams that have come here. What is that?
We used to have California schools.
We did have a couple Californias as well. And so what are some of the challenges that the AI office faces when determining the 4 teams that come here for this conference tournament?
Good question. A lot of times it's very challenging to rate our schools. In some of our sports, we have some head-to-head. Other sports, we have no head-to-head. We have a little bit in soccer. You guys played Washington Adventist, I believe, late in the season. Some of our sports where we have a cluster of schools, say, in the central part of the country, we've set up a scheduling alliance with about 7 or 8 of our schools in the middle part of the country where we get a lot more head-to-head in, say, volleyball, men's, women's basketball. We've got a schedule coming up. So we've worked hard to try to help schools do some scheduling. And it's in some sports it's a little easier than others.
Sure.
No doubt about it.
And so a busy weekend for the A.I.I. Not only are we fortunate enough to host the men's and women's soccer championships here in Lawrenceville, you guys have the A.I.I. volleyball championships going on simultaneously too as well.
Yep, going on in Lincoln, Illinois right now. Meg Shebler, our assistant commissioner, is working that tournament along with Mark Perdue and the staff at Lincoln College, and they're doing a great job and had some good volleyball there as well.
And so here in Lawrenceville, we have concluded one A.I. championship where the host and 1 seed Georgia Gwinnett College and Mike Giuliano won 2-0 earlier today, capturing that automatic bid to the national tournament. And when you see, what's the reward you get as a commissioner? You fly all the way, there's months and months and months of prep and planning. You fly across the country from Kansas City to be here, and then you get to hand out that championship trophy. What's that mean to you?
Well, it means a lot. I know it's important to the coaches and the student athletes. We're here to give them the best possible experience we can, and you guys as host school, you guys do a fantastic job, and so it's very rewarding to see all the hard work everybody puts in for it to culminate here, and to send them off to the national tournament with a trophy is a lot of fun.
And so here we are on the day 2, game 2 of this A.I. Championship Soccer weekend. Again, the women's championship earlier this afternoon, and the men taking center stage under the lights.
Women's game was great, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it really was.
Absolutely. We're waiting for that moment here in this contest where the Grizzlies got that goal seconds before halftime, and it really shifted the whole momentum. And that sounds silly sometimes, a goal shifts momentum, of course.
Yeah.
But just the way it
was the
happened.
last minute, right?
Absolutely.
Last minute of the first half.
Yeah, the way it happened.
Joy scored that goal to get you on the board.
Yeah.
I tell you, I really enjoy watching this game. I think the women's game is really enjoyable to watch. There's just something about the pace of it that seems a little quicker than the men's game. The men's game is a little more physical. You see more stoppages of play. The women's game just seems to have a nice fluidity to it.
Sure.
And I do really enjoy that about the women's game. I thought Viterbo played very, very well. I was really, really impressed with them. They're very athletic, and they're making great strides.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really believe it. And I had some long conversations with their coach Scott Pernstill, and I said, you guys are really close.
They keep getting better and better.
He said,
we
just each year, I think we get. He said, we make strides each year, and we're getting there. And I was really impressed with how their kids played hard. They played with a great deal of sportsmanship, a lot of energy, a lot of positives. Hey, there's a goal.
Bellevue gets that momentum-shifting goal as Toby Millward tees one up from 45 yards out, puts it inside the 6, and the Bruins use that height and that advantage inside the 6 to put one home, and the Bruins lead 1-0 here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Ted, we mentioned it earlier, now we're seeing witness of it.
Yeah.
This Bellevue team was able to play a fellow A.I. opponent in Waldorf twice in the regular season, with the Warriors beating the Bruins, hence the 2-3 seeds the way they were. But the Bruins get the opportunity, they get healthy, and they prove themselves better than the Warriors yesterday with a 3-0 victory. And that was sort of the start of the revenge tour for this Bruins team, because they were the 1 seed and the favorites last year here in Lawrenceville. And now here the revenge tour continues for Bellevue, up 1-0 as the underdog.
You know, they were impressive last night, and I was talking to Steve earlier, and I was saying, you know, they're a lot more talented than I thought they were, and you know, they beat the number 1 team in the nation earlier in the year.
Central
and
Methodist.
I know they've had some injuries, and I know they're getting healthier, and you could kind of tell that that's the case.
Yeah.
So, this should be an interesting last 37 minutes.
I had a great conversation with Markeith Preston on Thursday after the banquet, and I'm sure I'm not going to serve it justice because it sounds egotistical. And he says, when we're healthy, we're one of the best teams in the nation. And I know there's probably a lot of coaches can say that, but we see this product that they put here on the field, and we see the results that they have when they're healthy, and they truly are one of the best teams in the nation. And they know impressive. That measuring tool because they've spent years at the final site, whether it be in Delray Beach or Montgomery, or now it's in Irvine, California. Here's Tony Tiente potentially with an equalizer. I believe it goes off his teammate in Edward Raji, and it'll be a goal kick coming for the Bruins. But, yeah, it's not as if the Bruins just have some fictitious imagination in their head. No, they've been to the final site. They've been to see the best teams in the nation, and they know certainly what it looks like. And
Now they're big. They're a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
And especially down on the field next to them. It's an impressive group. It really is. Both of these teams, I think, very evenly matched, and I think it could go either way.
I know, Ted, your time is precious. We certainly appreciate you being here on the broadcast, and certainly appreciate you being here this weekend to support these student athletes.
Thank you, Matt.
But the invitation still stands, Ted. I'm going to keep bugging you about this. The Grizzlies in their journeys to these final sites and these World Series and the tennis national championships, wherever I'm at, there's an open microphone with your name on it. Okay, Ted? So whether our journey continues to the opening round, wherever that may be, or even in Irvine, California, we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Hey, thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate everything you guys do. You guys do an amazing job. You and all your students who you have working with you, this broadcast really is amazing. Everybody I talk to, they talk about what a great job you guys do, how much they enjoy watching your broadcasts and all your work on social media. It's really impressive. So thank you guys so much.
And you're very welcome, Ted. We get the inquiries all the time, so I know there's a Bellevue audience out there. Please, we love the feedback. Send us some emails. Get on the Twitter machine. Even for the Bellevue folks there in Bellevue, Nebraska, and on campus, you got questions on how we do it, we're an open book. We love to share the good word.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Ted, thanks again.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bellevue Bruins get a goal in this second half. They use their height to their advantage. Toby Millward puts it beautifully inside the 6, and now we've got a new game with the Bruins on top. A collision right there in the middle of your screen. I believe that's going to be Oscar Summercamp that's down and maybe potentially injured. Here's a replay of what we're looking at. Millward puts it right on the money. It's headed in by Inaki Aldaldo, right past the diving Gilgorovich, and you can't draw it up any better than that right there for the Bruins. And now Summercamp slow to get up on the collision, but the referee keeping the peace. And so we highlighted Inaki Aldo, a first-team all-conference selection. In his junior season, some would say he's the go-to leading goal scorer on this team, and you wouldn't be wrong. But he is really good when Toby Millward is on the pitch, because Toby Millward draws a lot of attention as an All-American, and that allows Aldo to create some mismatches and take advantage of, and that's exactly what Bellevue did right there. So Markeith Preston, 46, 24, and 8. Had won numerous North Star Athletic Conference titles, but now as members of the A.I.I, looking for their revenge versus Georgia Gwinnett from a year ago. A lot of soccer left to be played, but Bellevue feels right at home with a 1-0 advantage and 30 minutes to play. Worth noting, it was Bellevue that scored first last year with Travis Hurd. Grizzlies got an equalizer with an on goal and then a second half game winner by Miles Barber. Elon Adams to the back door, and it's off the post. Somehow it didn't go in. Tony Tiente, the player of the year, had smothered that ball, and somehow it squeezes between him and the post, and it goes wide of the mark. GGC has had 3 or 4 almost goals in this contest. They've hit the crossbar once. Now they hit the post a second time. Kirshner Clark had a gift given to him in the first half after a mistake by the Bellevue. A little miscommunication on the back line. But the Grizzlies, no cigar here through almost an hour of play. Tiente in the midfield, holds off Penn. Now Thornell back to Fiora. Swings it wide for Sagi Hirsch. Hirsch down the path, finds Summercamp. Hirsch finds an open Elon Adam. Tough pass, but Sagi Hirsch gets out of danger. Look for Bellevue to hold that line a little bit lower with the top of that formation. Thornell drops it back to Tiente. This ball out of play, and we take a look at that last sequence for, well, we'll hold off on that. Or we won't. Here's Elon Adam into the back post, and again, Tiente right there on the back door, but can't get it to go in. So Elon Adam has had some room to operate in that midfield in the first half. Now with the goal advantage for the Bruins, they might not have that real estate anymore. Because you would expect the Bruins and those forwards up top to not hold that high of a line and pressure as much either. So they want to use their size and their physicality. Frank swings it far side. Touched away by Rivera. Ball into the box. Comes out to Millward. Millward with a right-footed volley. That one goes up and over the mark. As Toby Millward had a phenomenal game yesterday, netting 2 set pieces, a penalty kick in the 65th, and then a free kick that was a beauty in the 75th. Now you add his assist here today, and I mentioned it Thursday night. I tell this story in a positive way. This is not a negative reflection of Toby Millward at all. But at the banquet, Ted allows me and gives me the pleasure to host and MC the banquet. So I've got a script that I go over, and I literally know who wins these awards and who's on the all-tournament teams before the players do. And so I'm able to make contact up on stage behind the podium, make eye contact with the person who wins the award before I announce their name. Well, I did that with Toby Millward only because I knew who he was. He was an All-American from the year before. I didn't know at the time that he was in and out of injuries. And so hence he was given the second team all-conference selection. Well, I can assure you there's not a coach in this conference or any other coach in the nation that if they were drafting the best 11 players, they're going to pick Toby Millward. I promise you, he's an All-American from a year ago. He hasn't gotten bad. He just didn't have the stats or the minutes to justify a first-team all-conference selection. But don't get it twisted. He's one of the best players in this conference. He's definitely one of the best players on this field. So knowing that, when I announced the second-team all-conference selection, I saw Toby on that list, and so I made eye contact with him when I said his name. He dropped his head and had a smirk to say, "I will prove you wrong." And that's exactly what he's done in this A.I. tournament. He didn't have negative body language. He didn't say anything out loud verbally. You could just see as he walked up to accept that second-team plaque, that chip on his shoulder just got a little bit bigger, and he has played with that chip on his shoulder this weekend, and rightfully so. He has picked up a pair of goals and now an assist in Bellevue's journey toward a championship. We played 1 hour of this match, and Bellevue leads 1-0. GGC has outshot BU 11-6. However, both teams have 3 shots on goal. Bruins with 10 fouls, Grizzlies with 7 assists. A pair of yellow cards in this contest, both in the first half by Wilkinson and Jensen. But in the category that matters, both teams with 3 corner kicks, by the way, but in the category that matters most, and balls put in the back of the net, it was Anaki Aldo in the 55th minute off the assist by Toby Millward. Zinn goes down on the far sideline. Thought he might have got a throw in out of that, but he'll be returned to the pitch. Fiore near side. Off to Kamani Irving. Checked in the game recently. Irving delivers that ball towards Zinn. Touched off the top of the head by Penn. Sagi Hurst chases it down. Makes a nice cut. Keeps possession alive. Cuts back to his left. Looks to cross. Loops one to the back door. And it'll be over top of the bar and into the netting. Lands in the basket above the goal. A couple of fans got to their feet, anxiously thinking that might have been the equalizer. You can always read the goalkeeper, right? Because he's the one that'll panic the most if that ball's on frame. But Harry Ray, cool, calm, and collective at Darlington, England. And Buru. Near side wins it to Zinn. Zinn plays through contact. Down the far side, off to Summercamp. Summercamp smashes this ball toward Irving. Irving working downhill. Tries to shovel it into Clark. Clark nubs it out toward Thornell. Thornell into Tiente. Tiente looks to chip it in over toward Clark, but a nice job by Wilkinson shielding off Clark, and Ray comes out to secure that launch. There's two things that are not going to happen in the remainder of this contest. I can assure you Bellevue is not going to pack it in and just continue to take shots for Georgia Gwinnett. And GGC is certainly not going to be given anything over the last 27 minutes. They're going to have to fight, earn, scratch, and claw for any opportunity they get. Ball into the box there. This one hits in front of Gogorovich, but it'll scrape across the front of the net and wide of the mark. And want to thank all of our friends, family, and alumni tuned in here live on our website, ggcathletics.com. Fans, don't be afraid to get on the conversation. Use the hashtag AIIMSOC, an abbreviation for AI Men's Soccer. We heard from a number of GGC alumni earlier this afternoon on the women's side, and we hear from a couple of alumni on the men's side. Lewis Sharp tuning in, watching the Grizzlies, trying to get them to another A.I.I championship. Lewis Sharp, no stranger to trophies in his time in goal for Georgia Gwinnett. Sharpie has made the transition in from player to coach, being an assistant over at Oglethorpe, as well as at the training grounds of the Atlanta United Academy up in Marietta. So I'm very proud of his accomplishments. Also got some, I'll tease this, we've also got some very, very special announcements coming up soon in relationships to former Grizzlies and Atlanta United. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It's going to be pretty cool. One of the first evers in GGC men's soccer history. It goes along with the first win, the first championship, the first postseason victory, the first trip to the final site. And we'll have a first professional signing too as well. Pretty cool. So looking forward to that later on at the conclusion of this season. Sharpie knows who I'm talking about. He's in the house here tonight too, Sharpie, just so you know. So if you need the inside scoop, be sure to text one of your former roommates. A little teaser for those the Grizzly fans out there that know who Sharpie's former roommates are. That's what we're talking about, right? There's a number of them here. I don't give away too many names, but there's a number of them down there on the track, cheering on the Grizzlies. Bellevue with the ball into the box. Kamani Irving able to clean up the trash. as Fiora will relieve the pressure. Elon Adam off to Irving. Irving, big switch, big boot over toward Clark on the far side. Penn gives a chase, but shields off the Grizzlies. It'll be a throw-in for the Bruins. GGC is going to have to get creative here. Try to get this equalizer. Georgia Gwinnett, no stranger to overtime, too, as well, over the last 2 seasons. They've competed in 7 overtime matches and are unbeaten. How about that? 3 wins and 4 ties. So GGC, 23 minutes remaining in this. Handicapped as Georgia Gwinnett can be sometimes in that final third. If you get a goal here in forced overtime, the Grizzlies certainly feel comfortable in extras. And here in this championship format, we will play golden goal overtime. There's Tiente with an opportunity into the box, but it's cleared over top of the bar. And good pressure there by GGC. We'll get a corner kick out of it. They're 4th of the night. But if you are able to get a goal here in regulation, Grizzlies certainly feel comfortable in that overtime period. And the format here in this championship will be same as before. 2 10-minute overtime periods, golden goal, game winner. For tied after that, we'll go to penalty kicks. Nobody wants to see that. Sagi Hirsch in toward Clark. Clark with a header, delicately off the mark. And let me back that statement up here. I'm sure there's plenty of people or fans out there that would love to see a penalty kick, but the traditionalist inside me says that's no way to determine a conference champion. That's just heartbreaking fashion to do because it's such luck, not nearly as much skill. Although I say not as much skill, credit definitely needs to be given to Viterbo's 4th PK kicker yesterday in Laura Boyum. She clinched the victory in the semifinals by going with the floater. Kind of the off-speed, looping, the arcing, rainbowing shot as the goalkeeper dove to her left. She put it right down the middle and just arced it like a rainbow into the net. That's just such a tough thing to do in that pressure situation. If you put it in, you win. And to not have the confidence to not put your best strike on it in terms of foot on the ball, you're going to kind of alter your momentum a little bit is risky, but it worked for her. Worked for Viterbo as they got into that championship match for the 2nd time in a row. Came up short against the Grizzlies. Clark with the header. Adam can't handle it, but Thornell is there. Ball played toward Tiente, headed straight up by the Bellevue defense. Summer camp in a long strike. It's off the mark. Grizzlies are starting to rack up the shots now, more than a baker's dozen in this contest. And they have struck iron a couple times in this match, but over the last 10 minutes, a.k.a. since Bellevue has scored, no real threat. Ray toward midfield. Header won by Brinkley. Elon Adam on the turf. Gets to the Clark. Clark to Speedster. Cuts back to the inside. Looking for a window here. Gets forward to the right. Around the 18. Looking to play through to Adam. Can't do so. Summer camp with a beautiful opportunity. Hit that ball closer to the moon than it did the mark. That could have been the equalizer there. That one will haunt Oscar's nightmares. It's one thing to haunt your dreams, but that's going to haunt his nightmares. Right for the strike by Ray. Grizzlies inside 20 minutes remaining, down a goal, 1-0. Bellevue, tip of the cap to them. They've played well in this tournament. On their revenge tour, they avenged 2 losses versus Waldorf yesterday, beating the Warriors handily 3-0. And now trying to avenge their championship loss from a year ago. They're on top of the Grizzlies 1-0 here. This certainly looks like one of the best teams in the A.I.I. in the Bellevue Bruins. And I'll put it to you this way. The Bruins are able to hold on here. Clark chases down this ball, but Ray's able to cut him off. If the Bruins are able to capture that automatic bid out of the A.I.I., they will be participating in the opening round, and it's almost guaranteed that they'll be on the road as a 2, maybe even a 3 seed. Doesn't really matter if you're a 2 or a 3 in terms of the opening round. You still got to play on Friday, and if you win, you still got to play on Saturday in order to go to the final site. Got to play 2 games in 2 days, much like they've done here. But I can assure you, whoever's that 1 seed that sees the Bellevue Bruins on their bracket with that selection show on Monday at 1 o'clock Eastern time is not going to be happy. Because they're going to quickly, if they don't already know, they're going to quickly look up at the scouting report, and it's going to say they beat the defending national champions in Central Methodist, and now all of a sudden they're on a 3-game winning streak and just beat the 20th ranked team in the nation. They've got all their All-Americans healthy. They are going to be looking good heading into next week's opening round. Fiora swings it forward to Rivera. Up the path to Tiente. Looking to play through. Can't find Sagi Hirsch. Grizzly bench wants a handball. They're not going to get it. Penn, far side, looking across. Teamed up by Hirsch and Adam. Grizzlies will add Aaron Buru to the conversation. Excuse me, Fiora to the conversation. Try to get things out of the back. Now kept in by Penn. Pinned in by Penn. Now Sagi Hirsch off to Elon Adam. And there's Aaron Buru with the big ball. Clark sprinting. But Ray wisely will let that go to the end line. Nice header there by Fiora. Backdoor Gil Gorvich. Grizzlies on the turf with Irving. So glad to have everybody aboard here. If you're just tuning in, this has been a wide open, electric, back and forth contest. There's been more than 20 shots in total in this contest. We've had 7 corner kicks. Lots of electricity, lots of energy. Lots of back and forth open play. And Bellevue capitalized in the 55th minute on a set piece. Toby Millward put it right on the head of Anaki Hidalgo. Put it away from Gilgorovich. And now the Bellevue Bruins smelling upset here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Down the path. Header one by the Bruins and a second header one. Now a third header one and ends up in the feet of Fiora. Rivera switches the field. Sagi Hirsch luckily able to get to it. Penn with an excellent tackle. As Elon Adam able to come away with it. Switches the field to Irving. Finds the feet of Tony Tiente. Tony Tiente had a great look at a set piece on a corner kick in this second half. But really since that moment, it's been tough for Tiente to get active in this contest. Irving Ball in. Headed away. Aaron Buru plays it out toward Hurst. Hurst looking to cross. Looking for a white shirt. That one's booted away dangerously off the near side. And secured again by Ray.
Let's go, GGC!
Alfredo Rivera, big boot. Grizzlies getting a hair Bigfoot happy here. Trying to possess things in the final third. Clark finds the feet of Aaron Buru, switching the field. Adam keeps it in the middle. Adam working downhill. Adam draws the contact and a whistle. Just enough contact to warrant a foul. And now, because of the circumstances and where it was, we're going to get a third yellow card for the Bruins. So that'll end up at the hands of Marvin Ramirez. So Ramirez with a tough tackle from behind will be booked. And again, this is quite the moment with about 13 minutes remaining. As Alfredo Rivera will step this one off. Elon Adam in the neighborhood as well. The wall right back outside the 18. This every bit of 30 yards away. Ray sends up his wall to the near post. This well within Alfredo Rivera's range. Does he give it a crack? Right footed strike deflects off the wall and it finds the back of the net. It finds the back of the net. The Grizzlies get the equalizer. Alfredo Rivera finds the equalizer for Georgia Gwinnett in the 77th minute. Rivera with his 5th goal of the season. Off the set piece, deflected it off of the wall, and it finds nylon. Just when Georgia Gwinnett found themselves down a goal and the Bruins had their strength in their momentum, in their favor, Georgia Gwinnett gets an equalizer. It's almost a repeat of last year. And where Bellevue scored first, Grizzlies got the equalizer and capitalized on momentum as Miles Barber hit a magic shot to upset the Bruins as a 6th-ranked team in the nation, giving them their first loss of the year. Now Georgia Gwinnett looking to capture that momentum once again. Tiente. And now Adam with a shot. Woo! Elon Adam twice today has had a ball rolled to him and almost found the mark each time. Folks, I'd say sit back and relax, but I don't think anybody's doing that at this point. 12 and a half minutes remaining, and we've got ourselves a doozy. Back and forth between Georgia Gwinnett and Bellevue. Here we go, tied at 1. Zinn in a foot fight, wins it, deflects it. Millward with a header. Now finds the feet of Aldo, the goal scorer, one of the best players on their team. We get a whistle and a foul. We're going to stop it to play, and Ian Aaron Buru with an apologetic palm will meet the official and then accept the yellow card. Aaron Buru will come over to the sportsmanlike thing to check on Aldo. And so this is a little different as this free kick will happen closer to 50 yards away from the goal than 40. As Alfredo Rivera cashed in his shot from about 30 yards out. Millward really good at putting these passes right on people's head. Does it once already. Can he do it again? Loops one into the box. That one skims off of Irving's head. And a corner kick coming for the Bruins, their 4th of the night. Here we go. Buckle up, folks. Get on the Twitter, get on the text, get on the email, get on the phone. Open the window, yell at your neighbor. Let them know what's going on in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Millward again. Inside the 6. Tiente gets a hand on it. Pinballing around. Back out to the 18. Shot denied by Fiora. Elon Adams trying to start the counter. Summercamp's going to help him out. Bruins subside the attack temporarily. Summercamp near side. Can't keep it from going out of play. Bruins with an attack forward. Shot away by Irving. Elon Adam wins a foot fight. Turns, wins a beautiful ball in the midfield. Swings it wide, looking for Summercamp, can't connect. Now Tiente wins a great ball, takes it away from his man. Tiente working downhill. Tiente into the box and a great slide tackle by Bloodworth. You can feel the electricity and the energy shifting to the boys in green and white. Ball in toward the 18. Tiente let it slip, thinking Zinn was there. Aaron Buru gets turned around. And now this ball's squirted to the near side. It comes off the sideline. For throw-in. Malik Thornell assessing his options. Thornell goes all the way back to Fiora. Back to the goal scorer, and Alfredo Rivera. He's our hero for the moment. But right now, we're not going to end this contest in a draw. We got 10 minutes to figure out who's going to win the A.I.I championship. If not, we're headed to golden goal overtime. One 10-minute period followed by a second 10-minute period. And something not a whole lot of people want to see is potentially a penalty kick shootout. Sagi Hirsch trying to turn the corner, and he does. Keeps his dribble going off the inline, back toward the penalty spot. No one home. Adam was late for it as the All-American, Tony Millward, was all over it. He was ready for it. Quickly in. Adam now down to Hirsch. Everybody's onside. Here comes a cross. Low line drive. It's deflected down by Millward again. Hirsch gets it again. Quickly back in again. Finds Zinn. Zinn across the 18. Out to Aaron Buru. He's got a long distance rifle. Tries to cue one up. Back inside toward the 18. Sprawling around here. And that one's a line shot toward Zinn. Show me Alfredo Rivera. And what's interesting about that, it deflected off of the wall and went further away from Ray, but Ray was on that half anyways. And so I don't know if he lost it in the light potentially, but I don't think that's the excuse he wants to hear. But he was in the right spot, just couldn't locate the ball after the deflection. Ray launches that one forward. Now header won by Aldo. As Gilgorovich will pick up a touch. That's how much the Grizzlies have played well over the last 20 minutes. That's the first time we've said Gilgorovich's name here in a while. Tough turnover, coming back the other way. This is Ranchi. Now we get a foul going against Kamani Irving. And this one will spell danger in the 82nd minute. Right-footed strike toward the back door. Header won by Fiora. It's almost identical way in how Aldo scored in the 55th. But the Grizzlies make the adjustment and recover. Adam trying too much dribbling there. Had some help with Rivera, and Rivera hits it with his left foot. He's the lone Bruin back by himself is Andy Wilkinson. Tiente climbs a ladder and wins a header. Now a Bellevue Bruin is screaming in pain who went up on that header with Tiente. And that's the loudest scream I've heard all day. And so cause of caution looms over the Grizzly soccer complex. Standing over top of his teammate is Andy Jensen. Again, referee very quickly able to identify the issue and a new cause of concern with head injuries. And so officials now are given permission to any signs of head injuries can stop play immediately to make sure those athletes receive immediate medical assistance. And that's a good sign for Bruins fans, is getting to his feet and jogging off the field. I believe it's Ranchi. So he will report to midfield. And a drop ball, and Tony Millward gives Matija Gilgorovic's attention and says, hey, we're going to knock this to you. And Gilgorovic gives him the thumbs up and play resumes as Conchi steps back onto the pitch. Long ball issued by Rivera. Zinn in the neighborhood. Now it's pinballing around. Aldo settling across that G-claw. Cornell gets an interception. Finds Elon Adam. Grizzlies working to give and go, and Thornell wanted to right down the teeth of the defense in the middle of the field, but couldn't get it back. Ball launched down midfield, and that'll be out of play. Or will it? He'll tightrope the far sideline, stays in play, and Rivera with a quick restart. Bure to Irving. Tiente into Elon Adam. He's able to turn into midfield. Tries to tightrope it back to Tiente. That's twice now in a matter of minutes, or should I say seconds, that the 1-2 game has worked in the midfield, but they can't connect that third pass. Whether it was Malik Thornell or that time Tiente, it would have been a good look. Tie ball game still 1-1. 6 minutes remaining. Looper into the box. That one's over top of the Grizzly defense, but Gregorovic is Johnny on the spot. Finds an open Elon Adam. We talked about this in the first half, that because of the high line for the Bruins, Elon Adam was able to find some real estate to operate from at the bottom of that midfield. And now that has come true again here over the last 5 or 6 minutes. And Elon Adams' impact has been directly felt in this game. Long ball up to Tiente. He's able to get a boot on it into the box, but he's surrounded by too many purple shirts. This ball comes off the near sideline. Correction, end line. And it's a corner kick for Georgia Gwinnett. Here we go. Everyone on their feet. Some standing on their toes. Sagi Hirsch tees it up near corner. Leads the team with assists with 6. In his senior season, wearing the captain's band and the second team all-conference selection out of Israel. Strikes it back toward the 18. Adam is there again. Adam touches it once, strikes it, that was denied. Grizzlies tried that in the first minute of the game. Elon Adam hit it the first time, and it went pretty well. And that time tried to set it up for a little bit something simpler. And it gave the Bruins time to react to it. Now Adam finds it again in the midfield with plenty of time and space. Bruins regroup defensively. Alfredo Rivera skies this one in toward the penalty spot. It's caught by Ray. Inside 5 remaining. Sagi Hirsch weaving his way through the midfield. Had it taken away. Now has to recover. Excellent slide tackle by the senior. And the Grizzlies will get a chance to regroup. Throw in coming for the Bruins. Jacinto taking his time. It looks like a couple of subs will check in the game, including Brinkley for the Bruins. Stepping out is Andy Jensen on the near sideline. Meanwhile, Elon Adam will check out for Georgia Gwinnett. And checking in is going to be Ian Aaron Brewer. Frankly, tough left footage cross there, and it'll be an easy gift for Gilgorovic. Worth noting, too, putting 2 carts before the horse. If you're able to get through golden goal overtime with no goals, when you hit the penalty kicks, coaches are able to pick any of the 5 members on your 24-man roster to take those first 5 penalty kicks. So the old rule used to be your best 5, you could only pick your best 5 penalty kick takers from the guys or girls, the players that finished the match on the pitch. That's no longer true. So don't think about any of these last minute subs as potential penalty kick takers, whether it be regulation or in overtime. You can have your third string goalkeeper. If he's good at taking penalty kicks, he can take one of those pens if we get to that point. Again, it's one of the more nerve-wracking moments for any coach, player, or fan is determining a championship on penalty kicks. The good news is we've got at least 22 more minutes of soccer to avoid that sort of destiny. Ray, far side. Won by Aldo. And a quick restart for Sagi Hirsch. It was Bellevue and GGC tied 0-0 at halftime as Toby Millward put a set piece right on top of the head of Anaki Aldo in the 56th minute. Then a free kick by Alfredo Rivera in the 77th, deflected off the wall, found the back of the net, and now here we are inside 2 minutes remaining in a 1-1 ball game for the A.I.I championship. Brinkley with a flick. Irving stays put. It's deflected. This is dangerous here. Bellevue with a strike and a great save by Mateo Gilgorovich. That could have been dangerous there for the Grizzlies. Little misstep by Irving and a great shot by the Bruins, but Gilgorovich will preserve the tie for now. Penn near side. Ball into the box. Fiora's got a head on it. Zinn can't quite clear it out. Now another mistake. Here's a left-footed strike. That was a knuckler toward Gilgorovich, and he'll have it again. After having a sleepy second half, meaning his name or number was not called upon too many times, Gilgorovich has had two huge saves here in the last 2 minutes. Sagi Hirsch now with 1 minute remaining.
1 minute.
We've got two of the best teams in the entire nation going toe-to-toe here for the A.I. championship. It was the Grizzlies winning 2-1 last year in this same exact match, and it's been a revenge tour for the Bruins. They able to check that first box yesterday with a revenge over the Waldorf Warriors. Unable to check that box just yet against the Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. 30 seconds remaining. Bruins try to hustle. Penn trying to direct traffic, trying to get numbers forward too as well. 20 seconds. Clock running. Official time is kept on the field. Ball's going to be across that white line in order for it to count when the horn goes off.
10, 9,
There's the countdown.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And so there's your horn, and we're at the full time, 90 minutes in the book for the A.I.I championship, and we are all locked in at 1 apiece. 1-1 your score here from Lawrenceville, Georgia. We're headed to overtime. Golden goal opportunity. We're going to take a break here. We'll check back in for our overtime period in about 4 minutes here on the Grizzly Digital Network.
Team scores a goal. If no one scores in the 2 periods, the match will head to penalty kicks.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia. We are set for overtime of the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championship here. We're all knotted up at one apiece. A pair of second-half goals for both these teams sets the stage even for a golden goal opportunity. Two 10-minute overtime periods. If you put one in the back of the net, you will be crowned the 2019 champions and punch your ticket to the A.I.I. National Championship. However, if we go through two 10-minute periods without a goal, we will head to the dreaded penalty kicks. And as we take a look at our game stats, GGC has created 17 shots to BU's 9. Both teams with 5 shots on frame. Both goalkeepers having 4 saves. A dozen fouls for the Bruins, 10 for the Grizzlies. 3 yellow cards for the Bruins, and 1 for the Grizzlies. For the Grizzlies, it was Ian Aramburu. And for the Bruins, it's been Jensen, Frank, and Ramirez. And so this ball chipped up toward Gilgorovich. It'll hop inside the 6. The Grizzlies will control it. It'll be the same lineup for Steve DeCoux that ended regulation that will start overtime, and the same is true for Markeith Preston. No changes in their formations. And so an absolute beautiful day here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Temperatures at kickoff in the low to mid-50s. We're down at about 48 degrees now, but things have really heated up as we're in overtime period number 1. Here's Zinn, left of the mark, crosses it across the face, looking for Summercamp, can't connect. Headed out of danger by Wilkinson. Ball right back into the box by Hirsch, and Wilkinson's ready for it again. This ball booted toward Fiora, finds the feet of Aaron Brewer, and he'll relieve the pressure back to Gilgorovich. Both goals on set pieces by both these teams. I think you got to give the Bruins an advantage in the aerial game, and you might have to give the Grizzlies an advantage in perhaps the run of play in the final third, trying to get a goal may be their best bet. Or a good set piece and a good free kick, much like Alfredo Rivera scored. Tony Tiente knifing it towards Zinn. Zinn can't control. Bruins got numbers here. Grizzlies a little susceptible. Willward can't get it past Rivera. Nice job by Alfredo, being in a good position. That ball is intended for the feet of Aldo. Aaron Buru trying to send it through, and both Summercamp and Zinn were standing within arm's reach of another. There's a shot from long distance for the Bruins. No real test to Gilgorovich. He'll cover his mark quite well. Clark wins a header, trying to find Summercamp. That ball's cleared out by Bloodworth. Ball bouncing around to the Grizzly defensive third, and now Rivera shovels it over to Sagi Hirsch. Late slide by Penn. Got the ball, though, and so Aldo will take it away from him. Aldo in the midfield finds Millward. Millward working to give and go with Brinkley. Millward gets it back. Millward, tough spot here. Irving turns it around. Brinkley, right foot, trying to knife through. It trickles inside the 18, but not able to find the feet of Aldo. Kante in the midfield, trying to make his presence felt as the A.I. Player of the Year. Hirsch all the way back to Gilgorovich. It's worth noting here as we, in overtime in a golden goal situation, GGC had 0 penalty kicks on the year until yesterday with John Ray Fiora finishing. Here's Kirshner Clark trying to finish, and he does! Kirshner Clark, an individual effort, beats the defense as the glory goes to the Grizzlies. Golden goal for the Jamaican native as the Grizzlies defend their A.I.I. title and win for the second consecutive year. What a moment for Kirshner Clark. An individual effort. Beats the defense, found an opening, and finishes on the Bruins. They come from behind. Effort for Georgia Gwinnett. An emotional moment. There's Kirshner Clark celebrating with friends and families, and now his teammates. Clark nets a golden and gold game winner, his 6th of the season. He has been quiet for most of the contest, and now brings home the game winner. A heartbreaking moment for the Bellevue Bruins, whose season will come to an unfortunate close. The redemption tour ends here tonight as they got their redemption yesterday against Waldorf. Had a 1-0 lead versus GGC and came up short in overtime tonight versus Georgia Gwinnett. And so, respectfully so, families and friends have made their way out to the Grizzlies soccer complex. There's the man, Kirshner Clark, we're going to talk about for quite some time. The Kingston, Jamaican native made a memory for himself and this program that we will not forget for quite some time. It happened in the 94th minute. As Kirshner Clark captures the A.I.I. championship. Georgia Gwinnett now in 8 overtime matches over the last 2 seasons. Unbeaten. 4 wins, no losses, and 4 ties. Steve DeCoux there in the foreground, celebrating with his coaching staff. Congratulations to Steele McGinnis, Jorge Vallejo, and Diego Castillas. There's Adam Lucasti, the trainer. Sagi Hirsch and the captain's bands sharing hugs with the Kingston, Jamaican native. Again, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a live presentation of the trophy ceremony with A.I. Commissioner Ted Bridenthal here momentarily. We'll also have a live post-game interview with head coach Steve DeCoux, as well as the tournament's most outstanding player. It may be Kirshner Clark, I'm not sure. That lone goal right there might be enough to be crowned the MOP. We'll also have an announcement of the all-tournament team, too, as well. As Bellevue, a big moment. Just slips out of their fingertips. Markeith Preston, his 4th season on the program. 46 wins, 24 losses, and 8 ties. As they're heartbroken for consecutive seasons in Lawrenceville, Georgia. As, again, the ups and downs of the year, because of injuries, they just don't have enough on the resume to capture one of those at-large bids. But Bruin fans, along with the rest of the nation, can watch the A.I.I. Men's Soccer Selection Show at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. Find the A.I.I. Facebook Live page, and you'll be able to watch along with the rest of us. For GGC, they feel like they've done enough. Not only winning this A.I. championship, they're now 12-3-3 on the year. As the 20th ranked team in the nation in MRP, that's now up to 15. The Grizzlies will anxiously wait that selection show on Monday, hoping that they'll be a 1 seed and host here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And again, folks, I've got a guess along with the rest of you all, but I don't have any insight or any more information than you guys do. Well, we could go, we basically have 2 teams smack dab right on the bubble with Mike Giuliano and GGC women's soccer, and now Steve DeCoux in men's soccer. Right on the bubble. And so we could send 2 Grizzly teams on the road for the opening round. Oh, folks, we could be right back here next Friday for 2 more matches. We'll find it all out. And so Dale Long, the A.I.I. Sports Information Director, going through some logistics right now to figure out who's made the all-tournament team with some tallying. We'll turn it over to Dale here momentarily. There'll be a runner-up trophy to hand out, as well as a championship trophy and a championship moment for Steve DeCoux and company. What a moment for this team and this program. Win number 102 in GGC men's soccer history is a golden goal game winner by Kirshna Clark, the junior out of Kingston, Jamaica. What do you got for me, Chris? You working on it? All right, let me see it right here. Clark wins the ball on the far side, dribbles past one, opens up a left foot on the other, and puts it home in the back of the net. What do you need a jersey for, Kirshna? Game's over. Get rid of it. Summer camp smothers him. Tony Tiente tries to get to him. And what an unbelievable moment. So again, congratulations to this Grizzly team. Well, they certainly, from a national standpoint, they won't get enough credit for beating this Bellevue team. They're one of the best teams in the nation when healthy, and they proved that here tonight. But the Raiders and the other coaches and the MRPI, they're not going to give them Grizzly justice. This Bellevue team is going to finish 8-10-2, and I'm going to tell you, that's the best team I've ever seen under 500. And I mean that genuinely. I know it hurts for the Bruins, but congratulations again to Georgia Gwinnett. They're going to feel like they've done enough to host that opening round, and we'll find out. All right, Dale Long for the trophy presentation.
A round of applause to both teams today on a terrific tournament and season. We begin tonight's ceremony with the announcement of the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer All-Tournament team. From Lincoln, Pearson Fleming. From Lincoln, Edgar Davila. From Waldorf, Athos Monteiro. From Waldorf, Edwin Lopez. From Bellevue, Andy Wilkinson. From Bellevue, Toby Millward. From Bellevue, Iñaki Audo. From Bellevue, Federico Machiranchi. From Georgia Gwinnett, Matija Gligorovic. From Georgia Gwinnett, Krishna Clark. From Georgia Gwinnett, Tony Tiente. From Georgia Gwinnett, Alfredo Rivera. And the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championship Most Outstanding Player from Georgia Gwinnett, John Marie Fiore. Now at this time, A.I.I. Commissioner Ted Breidenthal will present the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championship runner-up trophy to Bellevue University. And now A.I.I. Commissioner Ted Breidenthal will present the 2019 A.I.I. Men's Soccer Championship Trophy to Georgia Gwinnett gentlemen, once again, congratulations to Georgia Gwinnett College. The Grizzlies will represent the A.I.I. in the upcoming NAI National Tournament, with opening round sites and matchups announced on Monday, November the 18th. Thank you for coming to this championship season here at Georgia Gwinnett College in the A.I.I. Soccer Championships. Please drive home safely. Let's go!
Celebratory moment here for Georgia Gwinnett College. Matt Moen here for the Grizzlies Soccer Complex down on the pitch. As what a moment here to put this in perspective. To put this in perspective is just remarkable right now for this team to have this moment, be down a goal in the second half. The Grizzlies come away with their back-to-back A.I. championships. They'll be going to the opening round for the third consecutive time. And the Grizzlies have a reason to celebrate here. We have a reason to celebrate here as Georgia Gwinnett comes away with a golden goal game winner in overtime. As the Grizzlies, just a phenomenal performance here. And we're joined now by the tournament's most outstanding player, and John Marie Fiore. Jama, what's going through your mind right now?
Happy after this year, the struggle, the injury. We win, we're happy, so everything is fine.
Everything is fine, you say. Take me back to the beginning of the season. This season did not start well for you. You couldn't stay healthy. Everything you did, everything you tried, you'd play hurt, play healthy. Why? What's the mentality in an injury like that?
Everybody helped me with everything. The team, Adam supported me in everything, the captain. So after my first injury, I got the concussion, but now I'm happy. I don't think about that. I don't only think about nobody around and then Cali. That's it.
Tell me about this team in this tournament. Put it how you want yesterday, but you convert a huge penalty kick yesterday. What did that mean to grab that ball, put it on the spot, and put it in the back of the net?
I practiced all week about that. I knew already there would be a penalty, so I had to kick the ball, and I need to do a goal this season, and it happened. So I'm so happy.
Did you think about penalties tonight at all?
Not really. We knew that we were really winning before the penalty, so it's cool.
What does it mean as you stand with your teammates and celebrate holding that banner and holding that championship after what the Grizzlies down a goal with 26 minutes left to win in golden goal fashion?
I don't know what to say. I'm happy. I have no words. This is my second family. I'm happy for this. That's great.
Jama, congratulations. You know how this works. If you got anybody back home, I know we're a long way away from home. I know this is your new phone. Go ahead, whatever you want. Go ahead.
Tutta la mia famiglia, forza di Frequenza, a tutti quanti, vi voglio bene e un bacissimo a Niki.
Go Grizzlies. What he said, Jama. Congratulations, my man. Yep. So we're going to find Coach Deku. I think he's a little bit moist right now. They gave him the cooler treatment. So appreciate everybody staying with us here on the Grizzly Digital Network. An unbelievable moment. We're going to put in perspective for you here as Georgia Gwinnett wins 2-1 in golden goal overtime fashion. He's getting a picture with his staff right now, which is very appropriate. They've been together for a number of years now, and they have capitalized with back-to-back A.I.I. championships. Georgia Gwinnett wins 2-1 in golden goal overtime fashion. It's win number 102 for the program as Steve Deku celebrated win 100 in a very unsuspected fashion, but this one at 102 certainly is going to feel pretty good. And so we're joined now by Coach Deku. Coach, can I keep you warm at all, buddy? Congratulations.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
We didn't get an opportunity to celebrate win 100 in program history. How does win 102 feel?
It's cold. No, it's great. This is exactly where we wanted to be. The way this team has really gelled and come together the last probably month. Man, these boys have done well, and I'm looking forward to going into the national tournament now.
We'll get to the national tournament here in a minute, but the ups and downs that this team has gone through this season, what was the mentality like going into this conference tournament?
No, we knew we were playing well, and so those bumps, bruises, the scars, as I've been calling them, was just what we needed to be able to withstand a day like today. I mean, you go down, in the second half, and all of a sudden, we've been there before. We've been punched in the nose. We know how to respond. We picked ourselves up and got right after it, and what a heck of a shot by Fito to get us back to 1-1, and then Kush. What I basically told him at the start of the overtime was 3 things we control: our attitude, our effort, and our preparation. And I emphasize the preparation because we put them through basically a second preseason last week. We had the legs. We were ready to play. So
you, as well as myself, we've experienced a lot of wonderful moments here in GGC men's soccer history. Put Kirshner-Clark's golden goal for a conference title in perspective for me.
Oh, right now it's the greatest ever. But, you got to think about it. I mean, go back to in 13, upsetting Ashford with that goal by Ibrahima Sissoko, the goal by Juan Giraldo in 14, the goal by Jamar Oakley in 16 in Denver, the goal by Miles Barber last year. I mean, and then that one's just right up there with them. I mean, that's going to be, when we do a greatest goals ever, we've got quite a number to look at.
And so a celebration here tonight for GGC, back-to-back conference titles, which means we're going back to the opening round for the 3rd consecutive season. We're going to see that selection show at 1 o'clock on Monday. What do you expect to see?
I actually leave for Kansas City tomorrow morning because I'm on the selection committee. So, to be honest, I think we're going to be hosting, and I think we're going to be a 1 seed. And so that'll give us a great opportunity. So, who are we going to see? I don't know. I don't care. We're just there. This is you put yourself in this position every year. It's what we talk about in the spring. That's why we put in those long hours in the weight room with James. That's why we put the work in here. That's why we do what we do every day. So, where we were a month ago, I almost feel like it was the same talk you and I had last year. But my goodness, if these boys just really grown and developed. I mean, it was kind of, you're sitting there thinking, how good are we going to be? And it's clicked. And I love these kids. It's awesome.
Coach, go celebrate, go get warm. Congratulations.
Go put on dry clothes. Yes, thank you.
That'll do it here from Lawrenceville, Georgia. The glory goes to the Grizzlies. Golden goal game winner by Kirshner-Clark by a final score of 2-1. For our entire cast and crew from Lawrenceville, Georgia, it's been a great, successful hosting of the A.I.I Championship. Big thanks again to Ted Bridenthal and the rest of the conference office in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm Matt Mahoney signing off saying, so long, everybody. This is the Grizzly Digital Network.
We'd like to thank our corporate sponsors who have made this broadcast possible, and you, the fans, for tuning in. For the latest information, log on to ggcathletics.com.